We're going to the island, Les.
We're going on a vacation.
Are you excited?
We're going to the top of the island.
Look at that.
Or we think we are.
This is a really cool spot.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful day.
Welcome back to our channel. We both have taken a well-deserved vacation this summer. This year has been so busy that we haven't been able to take time for ourselves. We went on a small island adventure to test out the bus, which we set up temporarily with what we needed until we converted. Here's a few shots of our island adventure.
Nathan Kervin doing the oh yeah.
There you go. We've got the chainsaw and a motor. He's ready to go. Are you ready to go?
CC is that?
Well, the chainsaw is apparently puts out 6.6, but the leg is an 8 horse. So depending on how big my sprocket is, we'll see how it goes.
My sisters also came down for a visit, which they spent most of the time with Scott because I ended up getting COVID. Scott was a really great host and they had a great time. And only ended up spending 2 or 3 days with them. Now here's the moment you've all been waiting for. Let us show you what we did on the boat this summer.
Blake, get it rolling.
Good?
It's rolling.
Okay. Whoa, what am I doing? Good morning, everybody. It's been a couple of days since I made a video. Just kind of been laying low or not really feeling doing the filming and stuff as I kind of push forward. So today I'm actually gonna install some of the old boat parts. I need to put some cleats back on. So as you can kind of see behind me, I framed in right there. I framed in some cleat points, added a bunch of 2x6s there in a big C that I then screwed in and screwed together, and then it's all encased in foam. But there's 3 on each side, and I'm running out of places to tie the boat, so I'd like to actually install these. They're gonna come off again because these weigh this weighs like 10 pounds. It is solid brass, and let's just say they don't make them anymore like this. So I did a test on one, and they polish up like they're gonna shine. Just bright brass once again. So I have 6 of these big ones, and I have 4 smaller ones that I'll probably end up using for to hang buoys off the side so that it can rub against the dock and stuff. So anyway, these are gonna clean up beautiful, but I do want to install them so I at least get the holes drilled. That'll help me later, that I can do it by myself, but this might take a little bit of help because I don't want to drop them in the water, essentially. And I'm trying to get to, I have two makeshift tie-up points at the back right now, but the bow is what I'm really holding this boat in the boat shed right now. And it's the last part that really needs to get kind of demoed. They're on the deck, and I need to get rid of the deck. Okay, so I just kind of marked center, held it up, you know, relatively square, you know, just by eye, and then drilled one hole. So now I'll go to the outside. I'll put the one through with the one hole, and then I'll just use my tape and come down from the side so that it matches the curve of the boat. So it's just even on both sides, and then I'll mark the other 3 holes, drill them from the outside in. If I go from the inside out, there's a potential that they wander outwards, and by the time I get to the outside, they won't line up with the bolt holes of the cleat, because the cleat sits from the outside. So pilot through, mark the other 3, and then drill from the back side. Because if these ones are a little bit kind of spread out back here, where the nuts and washers are, it's irrelevant. So this is the way to do this with a good level of success. I'm saying this before I'm doing it, so the next video will be like, it worked. Anyway, all right, I'll show you. All right. Okay, hard to see. Here's my hole. So, I mean, I really could, if I was like wanting to, I could like tie string through one of these loops and then tie it to my belt or something. So if I did fumble it, it's not gone forever. It is brass, so if it falls in the river, you're not gonna get it with a magnet. That's it, she gone. I got the right drill bit anyway. That's just a really nice fit there. All right, and then just to help me out, I just put a socket adapter onto my impact. Do this, you know, blind, but just a little easier. Yeah, my socket's too short. I saw that one coming. So let's just fumble around here. This is the best time to be fumbling around. But I did bring a deeper socket, so. Okay, see, so it's, you know, fairly tight. Now I got a little bit of movement. And I'll just kind of do this, you know, a little of this and a little of this, probably from here. And just kind of square it up, drill my other holes, and there we go. We got a bolt down point. Now I can like triangulate the ropes rather than just tie them straight on, you know, a little stronger. Anyway, all right, we'll do this one in, yeah, it's early. All right, there you have it. Cleat put in. Be able to see the bolts from the back side. All right, See how they're not perfectly square? You know, if I would have drilled from the inside out, ooh, I would have been in serious trouble. Would have messed it all up. Anyway, there we go. I've got I got 5 more to do, but I should be able to tie this up a whole lot nicer, and it gives me access. You see I've got the ropes up there on the old deck, and I need to rip that part off, the very last part of the boat that needs to go and rebuild. So here I am. I'll do this maybe 2 or 3 more times, and then I'll remove those ones. I may not have to do the rear ones just yet. Maybe I will if I'm on a roll, who knows. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep going. There you go, that's how you do it. Look at those. All right, all 6 of them. Nice place. All the blocking worked out beautifully. It's very strong. So, look at that. Now, the way that I have it tied in here, like I said before, I'll be able to see how the weight moves and, you know, how the light wind that comes in here, how it reacts on the boat, and as I add weight, how it moves. So now I can kind of monitor it. I also get to demo the front. So, my phone died this morning while I was doing a time lapse. You didn't get to see the rest of this, but I demoed this yesterday, got rid of all the garbage, started framing it this morning. Looks pretty good. Wasn't easy, just like everything else on this, but it looks great. And I'm going to attempt to sheet it this afternoon, which again won't be easy, but that's just the way it is. So check it out. Nice new bow. Hello, another day. Demoed yesterday, partially framed up today, and started sheeting. It's a pretty complicated curve right there. That took me a while to figure that one out, but it fits real snug. And I've got these edges trimmed down, so I routed them to match the profile of the boat. So here's a look at that profile. Right, ready for fiberglass. Quick little sand to match it up with the side. This gets rounded over with the belt sander. That's that, man. Anyway, I got a ton more to do, but here we go. Look at that. Tomorrow, boom, let's sheet all this. I mean, I still have the sides to do, but at least this will be a nice feat. That'll be something I was putting on the back burner for a while, but I'm working on it. Woo! Look at the day we got upon us. I'll be working in the sunshine, la-di-da, and the sun shines, la-di-da, woo. And I'm gonna do this today. Maybe I can get one full 8-foot piece going around the side started. If I could do that on both sides, a little bit more framing, a little bit of plywood, I'd be pretty happy with today. And I'm a hard guy to please, you know. I like work and I like production. So let's see what I can do. Look at that. None of this was here this morning. Woo! It's super strong. We're nice and tight. very happy with how this is going. And again, those classic words, harder than I thought it was going to be. But I'm very happy with the final result. And I managed to not mess up one piece of 3/4 ply, not one. Wood is crazy expensive these days. So take a look at that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And the work continues. Oh, I'd like to throw a big, welcoming thank you to my neighbor, Wendy. She didn't want to be filmed, and that's cool, but we did that piece together, and I'm always going to remember that. So that's the shout out to Wendy. That's Wendy's piece right there. Ooh, the other way, right there. That's Wendy's piece, and that's a difficult piece to do. So we did it together, and I'll always remember it. Thanks, Wendy. Good morning, everybody. All right, it's come to my attention. The powers that be have let me know that I say a bunch of good mornings, but I don't say a lot of good nights or end of the day videos. And it's more than likely because I'm just tired at the end of the day. I've had enough of it. My brain is scrambled. I'm just like, yeah, I'd rather just get on my scooter and beat my way out of here. So I'm gonna try to do a little bit more. I'm gonna have more diligence on doing an end of the day video. So anyways, today I'm gonna shift gears from the gunnels. They're racking my brain for a couple of days. So I'm actually going to modify this kind of entry down into our living room kitchen area. We kind of shifted things a little bit. The washer and dryer is going to go right here, but it was going to be on top of the raised floor. So I'm actually going to put it down on the floor, and I'm going to push back the step, or it's two steps, the two steps that come down here, and they'll be on an angle. The stair will be on an angle as you come down into the space. So I know the unit of the washer dryer, so I can look up the dimensions of it. And I'm going to build a wall just like this back here and create a slot for it that'll be right down at the water. Right down at the floor, I mean, sorry. A wall, a pocket. Now I can do this because, as you know, your washer or dryer or a stacker unit in this case, the washer box is actually up like right around like your waist height. The little hose goes up into it. So it's above the raised floor area. So by the time it goes through the little box that has your hot and cold water shutoffs and the drain, it's still above the raised floor to connect into the plumbing. So this was a cool little idea. And then when I have this second wall, we actually get the back side of the wall for like our mudroom. So it's another kind of wall that you could have hooks on for coats or the dog leashes or a mirror as you're leaving the house, or just all kind of, it leaves it really wide open for more wall space as you come into the mudroom. So I'm going to build another wall. I'm going to modify the floor. And more than likely this afternoon, I'll build the adjacent bedroom wall. So I'd already built the one side of it. I'll build the other side of it because I know what doors I'm going to put in there. So I can create the rough opening by getting the other side of it built. So should have these walls built. And that's what I'm going to do today. And then I'll show you in the middle of the day. And then I'll give you a closeout video at the end of the day like I'm supposed to. Anyway, I still have a lot of fun even if you don't get to see my end of day videos, because some of the days are pretty taxing around here. And then like if I have the end of the day cold beer, or Pete who lives here gives me a beer at the end of the day, like it's game over. Like I've already forgotten about the boat and what I did today. So, all right, anyway, let's see how it goes. we'll get you a little closer in on this view. And there it is. I just opted to use a 30-inch spacer block. That way you know you're parallel. Yeah, so there it is. Beauty, super strong, real tight. There's that nailing flange I was telling you about. So reference, say this wall where I didn't put it in, that's a future problem that's going to waste a bunch of my time. That is just ready to go. And I can do it out of scrap ply that I had laying around. So here, that's the electrical panel that'll be nice in the mudroom. And we have the option, we'll just hang something over it, right? Put a mirror in there, like I said before, you know, hides it really nice, and it's super accessible. And then my services, like I said, will be coming out of just that corner of foam right there. So that's where my sewage will leave, my power comes in, water comes in. So they'll all kind of connect up, and it's a really short distance to it. So beauty little wall. And now I can use that wall to tie my framing of this floor in, and I'll modify my step that was going to be there, because I still have to have a step that goes down. So it'll be a beauty little feature. And now it's right down onto the floor. So, you know, every little bit that you can lower the center of gravity, or let me say, keep it low, because I went like, 58 feet high, 3-story European bus again. I haven't showed you my other boat. Oh, you did see my other boat. It's pretty crazy too. Anyway, so anything that you can do to lower the center of gravity is a plus on a boat, and you should strive for that. So really happy with it. There it is. Fits right in like a glove.
All right, so this morning was a success down with the washer dryer wall. Now I'm going to build the other bedroom wall. So there would be the opening with a couple of 24-inch French doors, I believe. I have them downstairs. So that wall is going to be built, but the flooring, for some reason, it was in one corner. It was not sitting on top of one of the cross beams. So in this corner here, these boards, like I didn't cut this. I didn't cut these 3 boards. They were original, and they were just hanging kind of down here with no support. They weren't on top of this beam. So, and obviously his old stairs, they used to have like a banister here, so he had notched this board out. And they were good over at that end, but I'm going to replace, so cut this one halfway, replace 1, 2, 3 boards, and I'll just notch this halfway onto the beam here. I'll cut these 3 boards just like so. So then I will put these 3 boards in place, and they'll be sitting on either end. Now why I'm fixing the floor after I was talking to you about building the wall is that obviously the wall sits right there flush with the edge of that. So I need to fix those 3 boards, 1, 2, 3, before I put the wall on top of it. So minor little thing, probably take me an hour, cut them out, make sure the surface is real nice, get them fitted.
Okay, I got those 3 pieces out. All right, you got to get it all the way to the inside of the groove. You have to clean up that groove because you're going to be adding on to it, right? So clean up all the crap inside the groove that has been there for 38 years. Right, the one board that I cut on this side, and then clean it up, and it's ready for 3 new boards to get cut into place. A little bit of glue under each one, be in good shape. Okay, and today got most of what I said done. There it is, bedroom wall, bedroom opening. Check that out. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, the floor fixed. That's underneath this wall. Enter into the bedroom, there it is. And I had that top plate come across so it can connect to the other side. I can build a small header. And then I'll show you the doors that I'm gonna fix up. So those doors came out of here. One was on the bedroom, the other was, I don't know, on the closet or something like that. There's 5 doors like that. Those 2 are a matching set, so I will fix them up. They're a little bit short. They're 5'9", so I'm going to put a nice piece of Douglas fir on the bottom, and I'll raise them up to about 6'4". That way I'll have about a 4-inch header up here. So they'll be nice doors. There'll be a little piece of the old boat mixed with the new boat, which is very cool. I don't mind putting in a little extra work to have a piece of the old mixed with the new. And they'll look really cool. So there we go. There's a day. I didn't build that step downstairs, but I got the washer being delivered tomorrow. So I will wait to see the washer. That way I can see how high the door, the bottom door, because it's a stacker unit, the bottom door, which is the washer, when it opens, how high is it from the bottom of the door to the floor? Because I can't build my step and have them have interference. So I figure I'd just wait a day. I'll see. Delivery tomorrow. Fridge, stove, and washer dryer. And they are nice too. So maybe I'll show you. Maybe we'll wait till they go in to show you. Anyway, I had a really good day. It's late and I'm going home. Signing off. Hello everybody, or good morning. So I did a little bit of a site cleanup this morning. I was having a hard time finding a couple of things, so I just did a little clean house, sorted all my tools, and got everything nice and organized. Now, I am actually going to attempt to put this door in, because I had another one of the guys that was just around here bang his head off of that plywood there. And so I think I'm actually going to take the door, put it in, and then I'll mark the flange for that and I'll router it out. It's going to be set from the inside just like all the windows will be, with that flange around that will get fiberglass. So the door will then get installed from the inside, spray foamed, and set in after fiberglass. So I'm actually going to put it in. Then I'm going to mark out the plywood and make sure that it just fits. Then I'm going to take it out. And then I got to wait for the fiberglass and the gel coat to be done. Then it'll go in for a final time. But you know, at least at that point, I'll know that it fits just right. And all the holes will be there. Just follow. Should be simple. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's see how it goes. Door's pretty heavy and I got to do it by myself, but I'm not too scared about that. And hopefully, at least for today or something like that, we'll have a door. People stop banging their heads at least. I never bang my head because I know that it's there. But it is a little funny actually to watch people smash the top of their head just a couple of times. But he's now done it twice, so I kind of feel bad a little bit. So I'll cut it out for him. Brad, this is for you. Well, let's just say in the world of boat building on the water, that one kind of sucked a little bit. I've mentioned about, like, you can't use a level, you can't use a laser, you can't even go primitive and use a plumb bob. All you can use is a straight edge going off of what you perceive to be square or flat. So that was a pain in the butt. And you'll probably see in the time lapse that the door fell on me right at the start. So that happened. And then I finally got it in place, but it was pushed all the way over to the strike side. And that's typically not what you do. And it was an 1/8 off of the center of the boat. And that, both of them combined bothered me enough that you saw me kind of complete it and then take things apart, rejig it. And I bought myself one at center of the boat, and on my narrowest part of the jam, right there, I have a 1/8 gap. So if I take the door out and I fiberglass and I put it in, I have at least a little bit of movement all the way around where I can reset it and put it just right so that I have adjustment. If it comes out and goes back in, I have adjustment. So you should never go tight unless it was on the hinge side. And anyway, so I still have the plywood to cut out. I'm gonna do that after lunch because I'm pretty hungry. And I'll see how I'm gonna do this. I'm not doing any trim on the windows on the boat, but I may opt to do some trim here just to make it like a statement piece. It's the front door, right? And I have the canopy for shedding water, and I probably am gonna build one because it's so high. It's like 13 feet above the door. Not above the door, it's like 6 or 7 feet above the door. 13 feet in total. So any sort of wind can bring rain right onto the deck and hit the door. So I may actually build some sort of elaborate, it will be elaborate, I almost guarantee it. It will never be straightforward with Julien. So I'll probably build some sort of an awning over the door, so it's even further protection. So I may opt to actually do some really nice, do some gaudy, big, fat gold trim on this or some silly thing like that. But I mean, I say silly, but it would look pretty sick. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to cut the plywood, and cutting the plywood refers to what style of trim that I'm going to do. So it does tie together. Anyway, I will see you after lunch. All right, so I'm calling today a wrap. Got the door's in. Looks good too. It's not complete. It's a really nice door Joe picked out. Yeah, it's not complete. I routed it flush with the door casing, the door jamb, sorry. And then I'm actually going to, now I can do a back set, and I'll screw on another straight edge, and I'll router again so that it steps halfway onto the door jamb. So you'll see a bit of the casing, and then I'll make a nice, I did opt that I'm gonna make some door trim for it. I think it'll just pop the door a little bit more, a little more traditional, like my other windows. They will be, you know, they're all trimless. So with fiberglass, I think I'm just gonna do trimless so that it's more, it just has less risk of anything leaking or the joints cracking or silicone failing or that sort of thing. But back here underneath an awning, so I've got this big rooftop, and then I'm gonna build another awning up here that'll just go over the door to protect it. So some really nice door casings will just pop this door. Anyway, super happy with it. It was a pain in the butt, just like everything else, trying to retrofit something for a house into a boat. Not that easy. Good morning. So we got our appliances delivered yesterday afternoon, and they're all boxed up. So I didn't get a peek at them, but I know what they look like, and I think I might wait for you guys to see them later. They're really nice. Anyway, today, oh yeah, my awesome door. I used my door today, knocked first. Didn't want to be rude. No one was home, so I just entered. I mean, that's what you do, right? So I'm gonna continue here on these gunnels. I've got my, this is the area cut out for the sewage tank, or a, what do they call it, a waste. Anyway, it's got a built-in macerator to it and a 2-inch discharge. So it's pretty much the standard for all float homes that they use. The float, blah, 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 you know, float comes up, starts the pump, discharge, chews it all up, and puts it onto the dock services. So it fits in here. I've already, you know, I've built all these walls and modified the floor and everything to have it fit in there just like a glove. But I have to finish the framing and then make it accessible. So this used to be like a little step that went up. That was a part of Steven's design from building the boat. So I think I'm going to keep it there. And I will make like a, you know, a 90-degree kind of lid for it that'll be like fiberglassed in. So you can just pull this lid right off. So do like, the gunnels will have a lip that'll be fiberglassed, and then the lid will have, you know, the other. So it sits right on top of it and it's fully sealed off, but it's fully accessible as well. I think that's how I'm gonna do it. We'll fit it in there. I wanna make sure that it's very easy accessible for any future maintenance. So that's what I'm gonna do. If I had finished that one today, now I'm doing nearly the same thing over here because they're mirror image, almost the same thing, but this one is for the propane tanks. Now it will have the same sort of lid. From the outside, they'll look like little access covers. They'll both look the same. You won't know what's hidden inside. But this one, I'm gonna hide 2 40-pound propane tanks in there because I've already looked them up online. They're gonna fit underneath the lid. I'm almost sure. They're gonna fit underneath there, but they'll be fully away. Ideally, I'd like to have 2 100 pounds, but then I'd have this big thing up here, you know, because they're up to like your chest, and then the regulator and the all the valves and stuff. So I don't think I want to do that. I'll go to 240s. That should be sufficient, and I got to get them framed in. I'm gonna put the plywood. I'm gonna make the plywood for it as well. This is probably a 3-day event here, but I'm gonna make the plywood for them because those pieces are like ridiculously hard to make. Like, look at this one piece. We'll have to follow the outside curve, the inside curve, and then look at that little sliver. Like, I gotta map this all out, and ideally you want it in like one piece. You don't wanna have it all mix match together, and it looks like a bag of hammers. So anyway, this will be a couple of days probably, getting those framed out and fitting really nice. And then these plywood pieces, I'm gonna fit them, and then I'm actually gonna take them off because I have to run, for this one, I have to like run all my propane lines down the side, and then before I close it up. And on the other side, I gotta do my drainage, the plumbing drainage, ABS has to run in there too, and then I close it up, just for ease. I mean, I could do it the hard way. I don't really feel like doing that when I'm building it and I have the choice to do it in a step process. There's also, once I kind of get it all put together, then there's spray foam that I'd really like to be finishing up the wall and then on the underside of the gunnel, so it sounds really solid whenever you're walking on it. It also tightens everything up. Anyway, that is a long way to tell you that I have a lot of intricate work to do. I better get to it. Another day is coming past. I've started out on boxing in the pump, the sewage pump, and another continuing on the gunnels here. Looks pretty good. I still have the other side to do, but I'm gonna push through on these, and they're coming out really good, so I'm quite happy with it. Anyway, there you go. New day, another day coming past. Hello. It's been a couple of days. I didn't really feel like doing any filming because this back part has been whooping my butt, and it's been taking a lot of time to create each piece, very custom, one piece after the other, so my videos would have just shown nothing. So it's been a couple of days, but I've been hauling butt. So I can't quite remember where I left off, but the sump sewage box. Right, I've got some Bondo repair that I've been already starting, blending of all the corners, this front face, cleaning this up. I had to redo this, right? So it's all nice and flush to accept fiberglass. I trimmed back the door detail another inch so that my door, when I get a door casing, which I will end up making, the door casing will lap right over here. And it'll look really, really nice. So I cut that back, and again I did this side. Right? Have to make all these pieces come together and then sand the joints so that I don't have a ton of compound everywhere and joint filler. It's all very, very tight. This took me all yesterday to create this box, that piece of plywood, and this piece of plywood. So it's incredibly custom. Every single piece fits together. It's all very strong, it's all very tight, and this will be the sealed 2 40-pound propane tanks will sit in here. This will get all fiberglassed in, so it'll be like a fiberglass tub that's totally separate from the house. Only one entry point up high for the gas line coming in. The regulator and the sniffer will sit out here. As well as in the lid, there will be a vented front, probably a vented front on each, just so that they look uniform. And then as you saw, I had to clean up all the spray foam that was on top of all of my floor joists, and then map out the floor, cut the piece, trace those very weird lines on top, glue it, and screw it. And then later, tomorrow, there still is some places no joint, some places 1/4 inch, some places 3/8. So I'll have to compound, or Bondo, where the plywood meets the fiberglass. I'll have to Bondo and fill that smooth, because if I run my router in there now to trim it totally flush, the little bearing on the router will skip into that void and it'll create all these little whoops. So you put a piece of plywood down, that's great. It looks like you've done a lot. It's all of the tiny little things afterward that give it a really nice, tight finish, that all of the pieces are put tight together. Because one, I don't want a ton of Bondo and wood filler everywhere when it didn't have to be that way. And I've been given everything a lot of time to really make everything nice and tight. And two, you need a good finish. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it needs to be flat. There can't be dimples for underneath the fiberglass for an air pocket to, well, it doesn't really form. It just, the fiberglass goes over top of an air bubble, and then that's it. That little, on top of a screw head, if it's countersunk and I miss filling that over, well, that little air pocket stays there and it'll be a little weak spot. It's very strong, but that one little area will have a little hollow sound to it. But think of that if it was a 1/4 inch crack between some of my plywood. Like, look at that right there. So like that right there. If I don't address that properly, it'd be a very weak spot for the fiberglass, any sort of flexing in the sheeting right there. So it's been a slow go, all this kind of back framing and sanding smooth and stuff, but I'm getting like finished, almost ready for fiberglass results in small pieces, and it's like a win for the day. So I get that kind of gratitude and that pride out of not really completing lots in a day, but it's very intricate. There's no plan. I kind of have to make it up, forecasting what has to be in that place, for instance, and like my thought process is on because things are working, but there's a tremendous amount of thought that goes into what I'm doing. There's like so many things behind me that I'm not just, I'll cut this piece and put it there and cut that piece and put it there. It's very, very well thought out. So if there's things that surprise us, they'll be somewhat minor, because I know this project pretty good. Anyways, I'm on another rant. This is a lot of work. I'm a little bit tired, but I'm killing it. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Even for me, this is like, I've never done this before, and if you've never seen it done before, this is pretty cool. And I'm shocked sometimes, even every day, that I like quit my job to do this, because this is like crazy. But it's really cool. I'm going to think back on this one, and this would be like, this is a highlight, you know, building this weird thing. So anyways, have a great night. I'll see you another day, maybe not tomorrow. I maybe not let you in on tomorrow's work. Maybe I will, who knows. But have a good night, and thanks for watching.
Wow, it's got a door. Look at that. Look at that. Wow.
The other side.
Let's go do a tour. It looks so good. Look at that. I wonder where this ladder goes. Let's try it out. Whoa.